The Maxxis Rambler is a tyre that's about ready for a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Gravel Hall of Fame, if such a Hall of Fame were to exist. Oh wait, it does exist, gross! Anyway, how do the Maxxis Ramblers hold up in a much more competitive 2022 market? Well, you know, they're okay, I guess, they're fine, and these kangaroos definitely agree with me.
Let's start with what's good. And I have to say that these tyres are very good value. I bought the 120 TPI version for 75 Australian dollars, and that's a solid deal in the current market where prices really are getting quite high. Next thing I like is the availability of 50mm. I just got a fresh new Bossy Grit SX build and I wanted something that would max out the tyre clearance on that frame, so the Ramblers were perfect. I've also found myself gravitating towards wider tyres in general. I love the plushness, the grip, and the ability to plow through almost anything. Setup, wear and tear are another strength of the Ramblers. They got set up tubeless with no problems at all, using just my hands and a regular low volume floor pump. And I've gotten them to my typical 800km review mark without any maintenance punctures or problems of any kind to report. I've been generally impressed by the low amount of wear too. There's a little bit of wear on the rear, but the front looks almost new. There's going to be plenty of kilometers in these tires. The ride quality is really nice as well, thanks to that 120 TPI sidewall, particularly in 50mm with 20 to 25 PSI. I had a lot of fun smashing these tires around the place. With that comfort and good wear rate, I think this could be a nice bikepacking tire for dry conditions, and I'd certainly consider taking them along on a trip with me. Let's talk now about the only okay part, and unfortunately it is the tread pattern, and do hear me out before you smash that dislike button. The Maxxis Rambler was first released in 2015, meaning this tread pattern is really old, and it was among the first of what I'd call the modern gravel tires, with things like the Panaracer Gravel King SK and the Schwalbe G1 All-Round. And if I'd ridden these tires, 3 years ago, I'd have liked the pattern a lot more back then. I've just ridden too many better tires recently with more grip and more speed at the same time for not much more money and sometimes even for less money. The Rambler's pattern falls into an awkward zone where they have a lot of tread blocks, but they lack enough space between them to be properly grippy. So they look much grippier than they are. And that's fine for your basic gravel roads where you're not really pushing the grip too hard. But these things slid a lot more than I was expecting on trails and in sort of wet conditions. Adjacent to that tread pattern discussion, let's talk about the modern alternatives that have kind of eaten the Rambler's lunch. First, the Pirelli Cinturato Gravel Mixed Terrain, which is my choice for the best all-rounder on the market. It's a fantastic modern tyre that outperforms the Ramblers in basically every way except for ride comfort. Then there's something like the American Classic Crumbanes, which were the tyre that I rode immediately before the Ramblers, and I still ride them on the Windspace build, also in 50mm. And I wasn't expecting these tyres to really kind of be in competition with each other. I've found the Crumbanes to be both grippier and faster, which is quite impressive considering they're even cheaper than the already fairly cheap Ramblers. If you're after something a little bit faster, then my recommendation is still the Panaracer Gravel King SS, because it rolls nicely and it's not much less grippy than the Ramblers on gravel roads. They're certainly less grippy in the more gnarly terrain than the Ramblers, but the point is that you can get near enough to the grip of Ramblers with a lot more speed depending on your sort of chosen riding condition. The buying decision then is fairly simple. This tyre for $75 is fine, a decent deal overall, and I've got no real problems with it. You get a good amount of performance for quite a long wear life, but don't spend more than that, otherwise you might as well get the Pirellis. If you want a grippier alternative in the same 50mm size, then I really like the American Classic Crumbanes, which come out a little cheaper as well. For the Maxxis Rambler diehards or anyone who has been riding the same tyre for the last few years, really do yourselves a favour and try some of the newer entries to the market. They're just so damn good nowadays, and you're really missing out by not trying out these sort of new modern patterns and tyres. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I have a lot more tyre reviews on my channel if you're looking for even more alternatives. And don't forget to ride safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.